Parenting can be very challenging, and that's why we look forward to the answers that the Smileys have for us for our questions. So let's take a look at the first one. My 4-year-old won't leave me alone when I'm talking on the phone. How can I change this behavior?
Well, I think that's pretty typical. I can remember
Yes.
thinking I'd call the boys in for lunch and they'd ignore me, but when the phone rang, there they were. Right?
Yes.
And so mom needs to start with a conversation. That it's rude to interrupt when I'm talking on the phone or to any other person. And then establish sort of a signal, a nonverbal signal. So mom's on the phone and Junior comes in and it's either like a halt or like this, or maybe 1 or 2 minutes. Let the child know that you realize that he's come on the scene, but you're not going to be talking to him yet.
Yes.
Right, and I think one of the things that parents forget about that a 4-year-old can understand, and that's really, really important because we hear it all the time from parents when we're doing seminars that, oh, do you think they can understand? The answer is yes.
Oh, yes.
They definitely can understand. And so after you've done that, after you've had the conversation with this 4-year-old and let them know that you do acknowledge them and that they're there, but you're going to finish the conversation unless there's an emergency. Obviously, if there's an emergency, then you stop the conversation.
Yes.
But other than that, you don't. And if that doesn't work with this 4-year-old, then obviously there has to be some boundaries and consequences.
Right.
So that you say, no, that's not going to happen. And the one other thing that I think this mom needs to consider, and that is sometimes as parents, and especially with the electronics, all the electronics we have with cell phones and stuff, we tend to spend a lot of time on the phone. And so this mom needs to take a look. You know, are you talking for 45 minutes or an hour? And then kids get restless. So mom, take a look at that as well. But when it all gets down to it, this 4-year-old needs to realize that when mom's talking on the phone that she's not to be interrupted.
Right.
It's very interesting too. I have a close friend who this happens with her son, and I think that he's really just asking for attention because she says, any other time you don't bother me until I'm on the phone.
Right, and it could be just as John just said that mom's not really paying enough attention. You know, the good thing, the good and bad about our cell phone era is that you can talk on the phone all the time in the car. Different times when you might have been giving that attention to the child. So mom needs to take a look at her behavior too.
All right, thank you, Smileys. Of course, if the Smileys answer one of your questions, you could get a free copy of one of their books. Don't forget to visit their website, parentinglikeapro.com.